Who'd win in a fight? Minato Nazumaki, the father of the prophecy child, the fastest shinobi in history, the one that hit records, one of the strongest shinobi alive, the one that rivals all the Kages, or his opponent, the one and only, aka Sun God Nika, aka Joy Boy, aka Monkey D. Luffy, who spin the block, who has the power to answer prayers and turn dreams into realities. And this is no fan fiction, this is real. Who'd win? Okay, first off, we got the fastest ninja in teleportation, instant movement with the flying Raijin, uses barriers for dangerous attacks, also a master of the Shishuan ability and the body flicker. Was the first to arrive at the battlefield with speed alone. He's better than teleportation than the second. Dodge a full speed attack from point blank range. Also in this time frame, he also threw a kunai in a brief moment to teleport to a different kunai, back to the kunai he just threw, then reacts to a surprise attack from B, cuts a tentacle in half, and plants a flying Raijin seal on a tentacle before B could even react. Minato also bypassed Ikumi with pure speed, blocked Madora's attack between Guy and Edo Senso, and teleports out the way before Guy could slam into him. With the Nine Tails chakra, he was also able to put up a barrier and fight Obito at the same time with a clone, which puts his stamina very high. Minato slashed Obito in an instant, equal stats to Nine Tails Naruto because it was able to synchronize in battle, the fastest non-Path 6 users in the series. Now that we got speed out there, we're going to explain Minato's powers input. Power, he was able to match the Nine Tails Buji Bomb with the Rasengan, even though it was an astral projection. And remind you, this was Minato as a teenager. This happened in the one-shot manga before he even became Hokage. They fought in the seal though, and Kishina used her chains. One thing I want to point out that Minato fought the full Nine Tails while Naruto fought half of the Nine Tails, even though it was an astral projection. While the clash was happening, Minato was being impaled by Kushina in her two-tail form. Remind you, Minato was leaking out and bleeding while all of this was happening. So yeah, this is a better feat than what Naruto did. And yo, I was just surprised as you guys when I first figured this out, but Kurama also said that Minato ranked at the same caliber as the first Hokage. So if we had KCMO Naruto was able to counter 5 Buji Jams, this would imply Minato could do the same. Okay, now we're going to cover intelligence when it comes to Minato Nazumaki. Minato Nazumaki had the highest written test score, even higher than Itachi, was able to tell Kakashi that his lightning blade was inferior, and figured out how Kume worked in seconds, can also use Sage Mode. I almost forgot that the one-shot explaining that Minato can use fire and lightning style. He's also a skilled Shadow Clone user who's also able to summon toads. We all knew that. Master the Flying Raijin. As a teen, he was very good at stealing to impress Kurama, and he's also a master of the Reaper Death Seal. So when it comes to Minato's stats, he's a very strong person. I put him at high mountain level, close to continental with KCM. And remind you, in this matchup, I am not adding Edo Senso. I'm just adding KCM, Minato with all stats and abilities. And now we're about to cover Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. I bet, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Sun God Nika, the boy who's made of rubber, the boy who's inspired by Shanks, the boy who promised to bring back the Straw Hat to become a great pirate. And we're about to get into his abilities, hacks, strength, speeds, and weaknesses. So let's get one thing straight. First off, Luffy is made out of rubber. He's immune to most physical attacks unless he's fighting someone with Hakai or someone with sharp blades. Okay, let's get into Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy. One of his most famous attack is the Gum 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 Pistol. I love this attack. The simple fact, the way he winds it up, and yeah, this is one of my favorite attacks right here. One of Luffy's most famous attack is the Gum Gum Gatlet. This attack lets him Luffy draw a barrage of punches. Next up on the list, we got Luffy's famous battle axe. This is a very strong attack. He stretches out his legs and kicks you in the face. Next up on the list, we have the Gum Gum Storm, when Luffy blows a fresh air out of his stomach in order to project himself in the air and throw a barrage of punches where his opponent can't deal with it no more. Next, we got the Gum Gum Shield. Now, this is one of the funniest moves in Luffy's arsenal. Like, I was cracking up when I first seen this. Okay, so next skill that we got off for Straw Hat Luffy was Gear Second. Now, Gear Second increases the blood flow in Luffy's body and increases his speed and punches by at least times 5 in stats. So by base. Reminds you, when Luffy fought Rob Lucci the first time, he got no diff. And then when he fought him the second time with Gear Second, he was able to get the one up on him. Okay, let's get it. Next up on the list, we got Gear Third. This is a very interesting technique he uses against Gecko Moria, and he was able to infuse it with Gear Second, equal faster and stronger. Now, remind you, Gecko Moria was able to split the island with his punch alone, and Luffy scales to this. Because when we got to the end of this fight, Luffy knocked out Gecko Moria with a Gear Third punch and full stats. They was both knocked out, but Luffy won at the end of the day, so this equals Luffy to strong island level. We're going to skip straight into the time skip. When Luffy got back to Sobioi, he dodged Light at pre-time skip, so Luffy's already faster than Light as soon as he got to this island. The next feat we got when Luffy defeated Doflamingo, who was easily country level, and Luffy one-shotted him and almost destroyed the whole island with this punch. Now, when we got to Whole Cake Island, this is one of the most important feats for Luffy, because simple fact that he's able to see in the future now, and he's already moving at the speed of light. Luffy has been through many battles, and he's moving at least 100 times faster than light. So, yeah, Luffy's very, very fast, and he could also predict your movements by just looking into the future. This battle alone puts Luffy on par on a different level when it comes to speed feats. And last but not least, I'm going to be covering Gear 5. Now, Gear 5 is one of the most craziest transformations out of Luffy's arsenal. The only thing about it that he's limited stamina when it comes to this form. He's able to use it for 5 minutes at a time, and he runs out of stamina each time after 5 minutes. So he has a total of 10 minutes of using this form. While Luffy's in this form, he's able to turn everything that he wishes into reality. He's able to change the environment. He could change lightning to rubber. He could change a lot of properties into rubber. This really puts Luffy at an OP stats, but the only problem is 10 minutes. But it's very hard to fight Luffy in this form. Okay, now let's backtrack a little bit. We're going to review the stats on both combatants and see who the winner is. So we're going to review Minato real quick. I got Minato faster than light because of instant teleportation. Very vast with his arsenal and skills. Strength-wise, with KCM, I could say he's at least mountain level. Close to village level. I could say, if you want to stretch it, maybe continental, because you know the Bougie Bomb can destroy nations. And for my boy Monkey D. Luffy, I easily got Luffy at island level, and if you want to wank it, you could say continental, because in the One Piece world, I know you heard this before, it's the biggest Jupiter, so these island level feats could count as continental feats. But I'm not about to do that. You feel me? I'm going to go what I see and what I saw in the show and what I read in the manga. Now, island level, definitely. And he's been getting stronger ever since then. Since Gecko Moria cracked the island and John Chingo cracked the island too. And Luffy no-diffed him. So I put him at very high island level in strength alone. When it comes to hacks, he has a lot of hacks too, because he could turn his whole environment into rubber and just throw elements right back at you in your face. So Luffy is a very, very strong opponent to deal with, and it's very hard to deal with him. And I'm going to be honest here, the only way I see Minato winning this fight is by sealing Luffy with the Flying Raijin and the sealing jutsu he has with the Death Soul Reaper. And that's only if he can get the jump on Luffy and Luffy has his guard down. Now, Minato is very smart with his IQ and will easily figure out Luffy's abilities when it comes to battles, just like how he did to Obito when he figured out Kyumi in an instant. Now, will Minato be able to get the jump? That's the question. Bottom line is, it's very hard to get the jump on Luffy for the simple fact that he already moves 100 times faster than Light and is able to just see into the future. So even if Minato teleports to him, he would just punch him. And I can see this fight going 50-50, but if I want to go be direct and see an obvious winner, I'm going to have to go with Monkey D. Luffy.